somebody who does this in front of a group of people on a stage with an audience, it feels like behavior that's happened before. So I wanted to talk about this because I've been seeing it spread in the news like wildfire over the past day, but shockingly, I haven't seen many world leaders actually speak out and condemn the actions of the Dalai Lama. So if you're unaware, there's a video that surfaced that was from February of the Dalai Lama in front of an audience with a 9-year-old boy. He hugs the boy, he asks the boy to kiss him, sticks his tongue out, and then tells the kid to suck his tongue. This is not normal behavior. This is abusive behavior. And again, it's shocking to me that there are no major world leaders out here condemning this behavior. It's absolutely insane to me. We're just going to dive right into it. We're going to first start with the neutral article. The Dalai Lama was on stage and kissed a kid on the lips and then asked him to suck his tongue. And people are actually trying to defend this, which is absolutely insane to me. Dalai Lama apologized on Monday after a video showing him kissing a child on the lips triggered criticism. A statement posted on his official website said the 87-year-old leader regretted the incident and wished to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. Well, it's not just words here. It's actually actions as well, dude. The incident occurred at a public gathering in February at the, I'm sorry, I'm going to probably not pronounce this correctly, Suglagkang Temple in Dharamsala, where the exiled leader lives. He was taking questions from the audience when the boy asked if he could hug him. The Dalai Lama invited the boy up toward the platform he was seated on. In the video, he gestured to his cheek, after which the child kissed him before giving him a hug. The Dalai Lama then asked the boy to kiss him on the lips and stuck out his tongue and said, quote, "and suck my tongue," unquote. The Dalai Lama can be heard saying as a boy sticks out his own tongue and leans in, prompting laughter from the audience. So people actually think this is funny. This is sick, dude. This is disgusting. The footage triggered a backlash online with social media users condemning his behavior as inappropriate and disturbing. Snap, the national advocacy group for victims of clergy abuse, said they were horrified by the Dalai Lama's actions. Our primary concern is with the innocent boy who was the subject of this disgusting request by a revered spiritual figure, the group said in a statement. Sticking out one's tongue was often used as a greeting, according to ancient Tibetan culture, but is not commonly seen anymore. Yeah, sticking out one's tongue, but not asking a child to suck on it. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public and before the cameras, the statement from the Dalai Lama read. First of all, starting off with His Holiness, like that is some sort of hall pass, doesn't work. We see through this. There is nothing innocent and playful about a grown man abusing a child this way. We do this kind of stuff all the time, and that is being silly. But asking a child to do this is not silly whatsoever. It's disgusting, and it should be considered abuse. It is abuse. And the fact that he is a world leader should not give him a pass. The Dalai Lama made the hillside town of Dharamsala his headquarters since fleeing from Tibet after a failed uprising against Chinese rule in 1959. India considers Tibet to be part of China, though it hosts Tibetan exiles. Yeah, exactly. Notice they didn't say they were sucking the tongues. This is freaking disturbing, man. You heard he was a joker, but this is wild. The other alarming thing is that the people in the audience were also laughing at this. And yeah, that's sick. So, I mean, even Cardi B tweeted about it. Like, this thing is spread like wildfire now. She said on Twitter, "This world is full of predators. They prey on the innocent, the ones who are most unknowing, our children. Predators could be our neighbors, our school teachers, even people with money, power, and our churches. Constantly talk with your kids about boundaries and what they shouldn't allow people to do to them." And I think that is incredibly poignant right here. Constantly talk with your kids about boundaries and what they shouldn't allow people to do with them. Because usually people are having these conversations when it's too late. And I feel this way about many topics, but I'll stay on topic with this. And I feel like part of the reason people avoid these conversations is because they feel like possibly, I think possibly they feel like they're actually creating harm or disturbance in young people. But if you don't talk about it, that means if something does happen, not only are these kids not going to know how to handle it, maybe even unfortunately normalize it, but also they might not even feel comfortable talking about it. And that's scary. Whoever gives him this title of His Holiness, well, that's a joke. And that needs to be stripped and removed. Even PBS wrote about it. New York Post, which, you know, they like to do sensationalism. It says he even pulled the unidentified boy's chin, like, you know, grabbing his face, dude. He ended it by saying to the child, "Now you should look to those good human beings who create peace and happiness. You should not follow those human beings who are always killing other people." So seeing this video, reading these articles, and then ending it with that quote and that statement to this young boy was jarring. This is a disgusting situation that we're looking at. And at his age, it actually makes me feel like there's a cognitive decline happening here. He's 87 years old. And let me be clear, and let me be clear as day, age is not an excuse for this behavior, for this abusive behavior whatsoever. I'm saying this to say that it does feel like there is something happening here, and it makes you wonder, what else has he done in private? Because remember, this was done in front of the public. So if somebody is not completely aware, and I don't know, maybe they're possibly used to hiding things and covering things up, they might not be totally there and aware of what's happening in that moment. Again, doesn't excuse any of this behavior. But it almost feels like he is possibly, and I have to use that word possibly, but it almost feels like he is possibly deteriorating mentally. But as he possibly deteriorates, all of these things are being pushed to the forefront that maybe he was able to hide easier before, you know? And it just makes you wonder what else, and how easy it is for people to laugh at and like cover it up because he's supposed to be a leader. F that. I think it's like the same way of like when you hear stories of people who cover up for people and for abusers within their own family just because it's family. And then also coupled with the fact that he said, like, then he goes into this quote about peace. I don't know about the age thing. You don't feel like at 87 he could be mentally deteriorating? No, I'm not excusing it whatsoever. It's not an excuse. I'm saying that it's like because he's possibly deteriorating mentally, that he is unable to hide things that are possibly already within him. I gotta use these words. I'm saying that somebody who does this in front of a group of people on a stage with an audience, it feels like behavior that's happened before. And it feels like something that, again, maybe when he was in a sharper mental state, possibly hit it better. So it's coming to light more, and it's becoming more evident. Similar to being drunk, hidden behavior comes to light. Right. Imagine the trauma of the kid now, seriously. Well, I mean, see, this is the thing though. The way this is written too, is it seems like the kid was laughing and being playful and receptive. And then you have that along with an audience who's also laughing. That's not okay. And this kid might possibly enter the world with the skewed version of reality and how people and children should be treated. So unfortunately, that's the way the cycle of abuse continues. The way they've written, I'm saying the way they've written is like, the kid is laughing. It may have been shock. That's actually a great point. Sometimes in order to protect ourselves in very uncomfortable situations, we laugh them off or we don't say anything because of shock. What happened again? He didn't just stick his tongue out at the kid like, raspberry, huh? No, it was asking a freaking child to suck on his tongue. That's not okay. There's no universe where that's okay whatsoever. Awkward, nervous, shock, laughter is one thing, but it doesn't make it okay. Exactly. But I see how the child, the victim in this situation, could be shocked and nervous and laughing, but an entire audience, that's disturbing. But some people are blinded by their beliefs and faith. Exactly. Like, it makes you think, if he can do this in front of people, what else has he done? There's a collective hall pass on religious freakness for some weird reason. Yep, unfortunately so. Here, I'm looking at another. Supporters. Here you go. So most of this article just goes over the same information, but then it says that it continues and says that supporters of the Dalai Lama defended him online this week after the religious leader asked the young boy to suck my tongue on Monday, outraging many observers. The Dalai Lama defenders argued criticism was coming from Westerners who misunderstand Tibetan culture. Sticking out one's tongue at another person is considered a sign of respect or affirmation in the religion's culture, according to the University of California at Berkeley Institute of East Asian Studies. Expression of emotions and manners today has been melted together and become vividly westernized, Tibetan activist Namdol Lagyari tweeted Monday. Bringing in narrative of other cultures, customs, and social influence on gender and sexuality to interpret Tibetan way of expression is heinous. Again, they're leaving out the part where he said I don't even want to repeat it because it's so gross. They're leaving facts out of this completely. Big difference. Big difference, man. Completely blinded. This is an opinion piece. This one says, if the Pope asked a child to suck his tongue, he wouldn't be the Pope anymore. The Dalai Lama does it, and there's almost universal silence. It looks like child abuse, and the inaction is shameful. I don't know if I agree with that. I think people would still be very angry. I think there would be collective outrage. I still think he'd be the Pope, though. But that being said, would there be more outrage? Probably. But again, I'm a little shocked that no major politicians or world leaders have condemned these actions. But if it were two politicians going head to head, you better believe that they would be outspoken. So it makes you think, why? Why aren't they condemning these actions? Is it because of where he is and the fact that this is already a marginalized community who maybe doesn't have any resources that said politicians find valuable to offer them? I don't know. Possibly. But what I do hope is that he retires from the public eye in the very near future. So that's it for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Goodbye.